Have you ever wondered why most of us live a life full of regrets? How can you live more fully every single day? In reality, over 90% of Americans don't apply Stoic philosophy to their lives. They let emotions and circumstances dictate their actions, instead of learning to master themselves. This leads them to waste time on things that don't matter. Why could an ancient philosophy help you change your perspective on life and face death? Let's explore the Stoic lessons you need to learn before it's too late, to live a meaningful life without regrets. In this video from Wisdom Daily, we will explore the Stoic lessons you must learn if you want to live a fulfilling life without regrets. From facing death, mastering emotions, to living with purpose, these lessons will help you overcome difficulties and find peace in life. Lesson 1. Accepting death. The most important lesson to live fully. We often avoid and fear thinking about death, don't we? Death is something no one wants to face, but it's this fear that keeps us from living fully. Instead of making the most of our precious time, many of us live in anxiety, drifting through things that don't matter. This way, we miss out on the great opportunities in life and never truly appreciate the value of every moment. So, are you ready to face death and from there, refresh your life? Look at Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers who faced death daily in his mind. He spent much of his life contemplating the impermanence of life. In his meditations, he wrote, "Remember that you will die, and that will help you live a meaningful life." For him, death was not something to fear, but a natural part of life that everyone must face. Marcus Aurelius knew that only by accepting death could you clearly see the value of what you are living and not waste time on things that don't matter. According to Stoic philosophy, death is unavoidable and beyond our control. However, instead of fearing or avoiding it, Stoicism teaches us that the awareness of death helps us live more fully. Live each day as if it were your last. This doesn't mean you have to give up everything, but rather appreciate the present moments, live with purpose, and focus on what truly matters. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow, and you will realize how precious life is." Don't let the fear of death stop you from living fully. Think about the time you're wasting on unnecessary things. Focus on family, friends, meaningful relationships, and the work you are truly passionate about. If today were your last day, what would you do to live without regret? Would you spend time with those who matter most in your life? Or would you continue chasing things that don't bring long-lasting value? Take a moment to reflect. Today, what will I do so that I won't feel regret at the end of my life? Now that you recognize the importance of living fully, let's dive into another crucial Stoic principle: mastering emotions. Can we truly master our emotions and not let them control our actions? Lesson 2. Mastering emotions. Learn to control them instead of letting them control you. Emotions can dominate and control our actions at any time. You may have been swept up by anger or anxiety, and this has led you to make poor decisions. When you cannot control your emotions, you easily become a victim of them. But if you don't learn to master your emotions, you will continue to be pushed around by life, leading to unwanted consequences. So, how can you control your emotions and not let them dictate your life? Look at Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in prison. Despite facing pain and injustice, he never allowed anger or resentment to take control of him. Mandela understood that if he let negative emotions dominate, he would never achieve his goals. Instead, he chose to master his emotions, maintain inner peace, and ultimately, it was this that helped him overcome everything and become a monumental figure in history. Thanks to his calmness and patience, he achieved great accomplishments that the world will always remember. Stoic philosophy advises you not to let emotions control your actions. No matter how tense a situation gets, you always have the power to choose how to react. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the circumstances, but we can control how we respond to them. When you master your emotions, you won't be swept away by the waves of life, and you will always be able to make wise decisions, no matter how difficult the situation may be. As Epictetus said, it's not events that harm you, but how you react to them. Try pausing for a moment when you feel anger or anxiety rising. Breathe deeply. Take some time to think about how you can respond more calmly and rationally. You might stop talking right then to avoid hurting others, or perhaps you could find a quiet space to reflect. A question for you. The last time you felt emotionally overwhelmed, what did you do to regain control? So, once you have learned to master your emotions, how do you live a life with clear purpose and avoid being swept away by external factors? The answer lies in the next Stoic principle: living with principles and purpose. Lesson 3. Live with principles and purpose. Don't let life drift aimlessly. Many of us live without firm principles. Life becomes chaotic and easily influenced by external factors such as societal judgment, other people's opinions, or trends of the time. We easily lose our way and don't know what we truly want or live for. This makes it impossible to live fully and meaningfully. But do you want to live such a life where each day passes without knowing what you are truly pursuing? Look at Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher who, despite being born into slavery, lived a free and meaningful life. Epictetus didn't let circumstances or the judgment of others control his life. Even though he faced many adversities, he lived by Stoic principles, and it was these principles that made him a model of inner freedom. He always followed the values he believed in and didn't let society or external factors change his path. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from living according to what we believe in and not being swayed by temptations or external influences. Stoicism encourages us to live by principles with clear goals and values. When you have strong principles, you will know what to do, how to do it, and why. These principles will help you avoid distractions and time wasters. You will gain control of your life and choose what you want to pursue, instead of letting external forces decide your life. As Epictetus said, we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. Take some time to ask yourself, what is the most important thing to me in life? How will I live to ensure that I am always following my purpose? If you haven't yet defined your purpose in life, don't worry. Start with the smallest things, the values you believe in, and the actions you will take every day. Share with us. Have you identified your purpose in life? If not, where will you start? Next, we will explore how to find peace from within and why true happiness does not come from outside. But before we continue, I want you to understand that through this video, if you find just one small idea that helps you discover the meaning of your life, it is a great happiness for us. Wisdom Daily always hopes you find your true purpose in life and peace in your soul. If you find value in these shares, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread positive energy to more people. Lesson 4. Find peace from within. Stop seeking happiness outside yourself. We often chase happiness from external sources: money, career, recognition, or relationships with others. However, even if we achieve all these things, we still feel like something is missing. Happiness from external factors only brings temporary joy and cannot provide lasting peace. So, why do we continue to chase these things while true peace lies within ourselves? Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, is a notable example. Despite having all the wealth and power many people dream of, he realized that these things couldn't bring lasting peace. When facing death, Steve Jobs understood that only inner peace was truly important. He once shared that, in his final moments, what he desired most was not his career or money, but the stillness of his soul and harmony with himself. He realized that true happiness comes from mastering your own mind and emotions. Stoicism also teaches that true peace and happiness do not come from external factors, but from how you master your thoughts and emotions. Stoicism advises you to accept that you cannot control everything out there, but you can completely control how you respond to the events in your life. When you learn to master your emotions and thoughts, you will find deep peace and not be swept away by the waves of life. Practice meditation, stillness, and always remind yourself that happiness does not come from external things, but from how you perceive and face life. When you truly understand and accept this, you will feel peace in every moment, unaffected by events beyond your control. A question for you: how can you create peace in your mind every day? Once you've begun to find peace from within, the next crucial principle is living responsibly and not blaming circumstances. We will explore how Stoicism teaches us to take responsibility and master our life, even when facing difficult challenges. Lesson 5. Take responsibility. Don't blame circumstances. When faced with difficulties in life, one of the most common reactions is to blame circumstances or other people. We easily feel powerless and believe that external factors are the cause of our struggles. However, when we blame everything around us, we miss the opportunity to control ourselves and change our lives in the way we want. Are you ready to take responsibility and act to change, rather than blame your circumstances? Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, is a great example of taking responsibility in extreme circumstances. Even though he survived the Nazi concentration camps during World War II, Frankl found the strength to endure all his suffering by taking responsibility for how he responded to those circumstances. He did not let hardship or injustice take away his freedom. Instead, he chose to find meaning in the smallest things, and that's what helped him survive and find the strength to overcome every challenge. As Frankl said, we cannot control our circumstances, but we always have the power to choose how we respond to them. Stoic philosophy also encourages you to take responsibility for your life, not to blame others or circumstances. Stoicism teaches that we can control how we respond to every situation, and it is mastering our reactions that brings true freedom and control. When you take responsibility for what happens in your life, you are no longer bound by circumstances or other people. Instead, you have the power to create change. Rather than blaming circumstances, focus on what you can do to change. Ask yourself, what can I do to improve my current situation? Change starts with you by realizing that you have the right and ability to change how you respond to life. A question for you: how can you take more responsibility in difficult situations? Today, we have explored important Stoic lessons, principles that are not just a philosophy of life, but the key to living fully, peacefully, and responsibly. Remember that life is short, and only by applying these lessons like accepting death, mastering emotions, living with principles, and finding inner peace can you live without regrets. These lessons are the foundation for you to live a sustainable life and overcome the greatest challenges in life. They will help you find freedom and inner strength, no matter the circumstances. Before we end, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever tried facing death to live more fully? How do you feel about mastering your emotions instead of letting them control your life? And have you identified your life's purpose? If you find value in these shares, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next videos from Wisdom Daily. And feel free to share below this video What will you do to live a fuller life? We're eager to hear your thoughts. Let Wisdom Daily join you on the journey to live a meaningful and peaceful life. Thank you for watching, and always remember, life truly has meaning when you live with purpose and peace in your soul.